Hi everyone, it's Adrian from Living Holistic Health here. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about a specific problem that a lot of people come to us for in our clinic, and that's to do with constipation. So that obviously that's that struggle to have a proper bowel motion, and it can be quite debilitating for some people. Now, some people can go for a few days, anywhere up to a week without necessarily being able to go to the toilet properly, and it becomes a real issue and can create a number of other problems as well. Now, for a lot of these people, what they will be struggling with is they'll be lacking a specific type of gut bacteria, and that group of gut bacteria, and that group is called Bacteroides. And they're a type of organism that should be quite prevalent in a normal healthy gut. And for a lot of the people who suffer from this problem of constipation, they're very low in this Bacteroides type of gut bacteria. So one of the best things that we can do to try and correct the levels of Bacteroides and increase them in our gut, in our digestive tract and in our gut, is to take bone broth on a regular basis. So that's bone broth from both from organic chickens or from organic red meat. And there's a lot of different recipes for bone broth, on the internet, and there's some on our website as well. But bone broth is basically just a stock that's created from bones. You don't really want to be cooking them any longer than 8 hours, just a slow cook. In a slow cooker is a really good way to do it. And having between 3 to 5 cups, depending on the person and what's going on, of bone broth per day is a really good way to help increase the levels of Bacteroides in a person. So if that person's struggling with low levels of Bacteroides and constipation, getting them onto bone broth, for that 3 to 5 cups per day, for a number of weeks, anywhere between sort of 2 to 4 week mark, can help to increase the levels of Bacteroides and hopefully just improve those symptoms there. So that's the first thing that people should be doing if they're suffering from constipation due to low Bacteroides. And the second thing that people should be doing is looking at the type of fibre that they're eating. Now, very often when people get constipated, they get told to eat a lot of fibre and have a high fibre diet. But unfortunately, that doesn't always work for people. And the reason why this doesn't always work for people is because we need some of those Bacteroides to actually break down the cellulose that's in the fibre. And so if people have got low levels of Bacteroides, by giving them more fibre, they're not actually able to break down that fibre because they don't have the type of Bacteroides needed to break down the cell walls. And I'm talking about lots of veggies in particular, that really what we call an insoluble fibre. They really struggle to break that down. And so if you're going to give a person who has got low levels of Bacteroides and has constipation more of this insoluble fibre, they're going to really struggle to break it down. Potentially, you could make their symptoms actually worse. So if that sounds like something that you've had, or somebody that struggle with increasing the insoluble fibre and it's made things worse, one of the best things that you can do is to have the bone broth, but also to actually have soluble fibre. So soluble fibre is found in some legumes, it's found in oats and barley and things like that. You can jump on the internet there and have a look for the different types of foods that contain soluble fibre. And the best thing you can do is to have soluble fibre on a regular basis for about, say, 1 to 2 weeks, and then swap over and have your insoluble fibre after that for another 1 to 2 weeks, and that's at a high quantity daily. Now, the insoluble fibres are the types of fibres that we find in the skins and in the coverings of vegetables. That's insoluble fibre, and if you don't have adequate levels of Bacteroides, you only struggle to break that down. So what you want to do is you want to have your bone broth, have your soluble fibre for a couple of weeks, and then switch over to insoluble fibre. And hopefully the combination of those two things is going to increase your levels of Bacteroides, improve your ability to break down fibre, and also get things moving in your gut again. So there's a couple of tips, hopefully, if you're suffering from constipation or somebody that you know, and if it is due to these low levels of Bacteroides, then hopefully there's a couple of things there that can change the game and get things moving again, hopefully for you. So there's some tips on constipation, and hope that works for you guys. If you've got any other questions, please let us know. You can PM us or send us a message. Thank you very much for listening.